live with y'all in a minute. You dig? Shit. Mm-hmm. That was for the cause, goddammit. Get your hoodie right now at Hotepish.com. You dig? Get your hoodie right now. I ain't seen y'all in a minute. I've been busy as fuck. So come on up in here. Come on up in here. I'm talking like an old nigga with a joint in my lips. What up, Red Williams? What's up, M. Moses? How y'all doing there? Gotta talk with that joint in your lips, you know what I mean? Look how the old niggas did it. Go ahead and share the video, y'all. Share the video. Share the video. Yep. Come on in here. We're gonna talk about dealing with these Negro apologists. On that, and shouts out to everybody who saw my interview with Isaiah Washington. The audio's fucked up. So actually, because I love you motherfuckers so much, and I spare no personal expense, and so I hit up my man Jay Ali, audio engineer. I'm going to see. I don't know if he can do it yet. But I'm going to see if he can clean up that doubling of Isaiah's sound in the interview. Because Isaiah gave us so much good information. I don't want that good information to be sidetracked by sound doubling. So if my man can clean it up, I'm going to have him clean up the video and clean up the sound doubling. But we'll see. We'll see, says Stevie Wonder. Hell yeah, Red Williams. You know, Jay Ali's a monster on that audio engineering. I've told y'all before, like, I got so many projects I'm doing right now. I'm doing my Black American Music Tree documentary series right now. Did I show y'all the trailer yet for the documentary series? I know, hold on. My man Hassan gave me a trailer for my documentary series. Not really a trailer, but more so just a snippet. And I did not post that shit for y'all. The fuck is my problem? What's up, Torian Rain? Yeah, I got footage 2 weeks ago on my documentary series that my producer put together, and I did not even post that for y'all. I'm literally just now realizing I ain't post that trailer yet for y'all. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah. Well, it was good to hear Isaiah Washington speak. It was really good to hear him speak. Y'all see the moon? Look, y'all see behind me? You know what I mean? I'm an astrology nerd. What's that? You see that's the moon right there. I mean, I'm using my joint as the see the moon, and you see Jupiter. That's Jupiter right there. Let me come back on this side. Let's see if I can point some shit out to y'all. Nah, I think Mars ain't bright enough. And Beetlejuice. Okay, y'all see Mars? Oh, yeah, that's Mars right there. Y'all see Mars? Oh, wait, let me see right here. Y'all see Mars right there? That's Mars right there above my head next to my joint. But today, and I want to see what some of y'all got to say, because I haven't been here on the phone talking to y'all. I like talking to y'all on my phone because I can see y'all what some of the shit that y'all say. When I'm over on caffeine, I can't see the YouTube or the I can see some of the caffeine chat room, but I can't see any of the YouTube chat room. So I just be preaching and soiming up in that motherfucker. But we're talking about dealing with Negro apologists. Okay, here's the reason why I'm talking about this topic tonight. I'm talking about it because every time something happens, Black Americans are victims of violence. Black culture gets put on the hot seat. While at the same time, when Black people express opinions about other cultures or so-called other cultures, I say so-called because dealing with Kyrie, you know, that the Jewish culture, you know, that can mean a lot of different people. And the minute a Black person expresses an opinion, doesn't commit any violence, just expresses an opinion, you get all of these Negro apologists that come up out of nowhere. Where do these niggas come from? Ain't none of these Black people, Shaq, Charles Barkley, none of these niggas that checking Kyrie over what he said. Not one had anything to say about the LA City Council being racist towards Black America. Shaq lives in LA, or he used to live in LA. You know? All of these people with the blue checks, if they don't live in LA, they make their money out of LA 9 times out of 10. They make their money out of LA. And even if they don't make their money out of LA, it's bullshit going on in all 4 corners of the nation against Black people. All of these people coming out saying Kanye needs to apologize and Kyrie needs to apologize. Can we check their track record and ask what have they said about the water in Jackson, Mississippi? Can we check their record and ask let's just check their record and see what have they said regarding anything constructive towards Black America? Anything outside of vote for the Democrats? What do these niggas talk about? And let me start off by saying this. Charles Barkley and Shaq, this is for you moist niggas that get this. I'm about to sit down and go specifically to you weird ass bronsexual niggas. I was a big fan of Charles Barkley as a kid. I played at Rancho Cienega Park for the Sixers. Of course, I wore number 34. And I get them rebounds and take them hoes down 94 feet, throw a no-look pass to a motherfucker. I was a cold-ass nigga on a basketball court. And Barkley was who my game was most alike because I was a big dude, but I was a fast-moving big dude. Like, I was big, but I didn't necessarily use my power. I could be big and still use quickness when I was in my teens and 20s, especially in my 20s. Extremely quick quick feet. A lot like Barkley. I'm a huge Shaq fan. I'm a Laker fan, nigga. Come on now. I remember when Shaq came here in 1996. I remember that. As a matter of fact, I used to work at a Christmas tree lot every Christmas when I was a teenager. Dexter's Christmas tree lot. It was on basically King Boulevard and Western. It was on King and St. Andrews, but if you ain't from LA, you won't know what St. Andrews is. Always like 1 block, 2 blocks west of Western. And I used to save my coins up, and I'll never forget when I was like 16 or 17. My Christmas gift to my dad was I took my dad to a Laker game. They had the Great Western Forum had like, I'll never forget it. They had like $25 seats. And we were sitting up there near the top. She could damn near touch Kareem's retired jersey where we were sitting. But I was only like 16. That's all I could afford. And me and my dad went to go watch Shaq and Kobe Kobe was coming off the bench because he was a rookie, and at the time, rookies couldn't start in the NBA, especially out of high school. People forget Kobe was the first high school guard ever taken in first guard ever taken directly out of high school. Before Kobe, only centers and forwards were taken out of high school. And so Kobe didn't play that much. Well, he didn't start. But I took my dad to go see Shaq and Kobe in 1996, 1997. I've probably seen Shaq play live between going to All-Star Weekend and going to games no less than 50 times. Because even when Shaq left, I saw Shaq in Phoenix. I've seen Shaq play on the road. I've seen him in Miami. I love Shaq and Charles Barkley as basketball players. So for you weird-ass niggas, you can love someone as a basketball player and love them for what they do and still be critical of the bullshit. Just because you like the way someone plays basketball doesn't mean you're going to have to sit there and just let them spew off bullshit and you just supposed to accept it because you a fan. That's weird shit, grown black men. Black men, stop being weird. Stop being weird fanboying out at these athletes. These athletes ain't shit. I was a huge fan of Shaq. Now look at him. And the same shit gonna happen to your favorite player when they retire. You dick riding that nigga now. Wait till they retire. They really gonna be on, because they're gonna have, by the time your favorite player gets, especially like 5 or 10 years after retirement, they not getting them NBA checks no more, and they doing some other shit, and they want to stay in the good graces of the dominant society. Who the first people they gonna throw under the bus to stay in the good graces of them folks? Meanwhile, you spent 20 years and lost friendships over arguing who your top 5 is. Fuck all these niggas. If they're worthy of your respect and praise, they'll show it through their life's work. And even then, they only doing their part. Even if people are doing their part, you ain't supposed to worship them. These are human fucking beings. And you see, this is how the NBA works, y'all. This is how the NBA works. He's like, I didn't catch, yeah, I'm gonna get into Shaq. Yeah, I caught Kazan with what he said. But this is how it works. This is how it works, black people. Mind you, you're talking to a nigga who knows about the NBA business-wise, inside and out. Although I talk mostly politics and music and other shit now, I've had a whole segment of my life that was more involved with the NBA than it should have been, because them niggas wasn't paying me like that. But this is how it works. These sports networks, Fox Sports, ESPN, TNT, what they do is there could only be one great nigga at a time, right? And I noticed this in the 2000s. I started noticing this back in like about 20 years ago when the Arizona Diamondbacks in baseball, they had Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson as pitchers. Great duo. Because at the time, I did an A/B test, side-by-side test. I said, okay, with the Lakers got Shaq and Kobe. And I used to watch ESPN all day back then. I'm like, why are they always talking about Shaq and Kobe's relationship? Playing Shaq against Kobe. When in actuality, when you watch those two play basketball together, it's poetry in motion. There's a lot you can learn about the symbiotic relationship between Shaq and Kobe on the basketball court. It was a beautiful piece of artwork, running that triangle offense. Kobe coming down, throwing the ball down to Shaq into the pinch post. Pinch post is when Shaq will line up at the elbow. Kobe come and throw it to him. As soon as he passed, brush screen, cut to the basket. Shaq would turn around and pivot. If the dump off was there to Kobe, he'd get it. If it weren't, usually Kobe attracted 2 players. So usually the dump off wasn't there. So someone was either going to be sagging off Rick Fox or Derek Fisher. And if Shaq couldn't hit Kobe with the top, he'd kick it off to Fisher or Rick Fox. 3-pointer. Or they swing to Fisher, Rick Fox, Kobe, and reset, come and get it. They swing it back to Kobe. Kobe got a one-on-one. Man, that was some beautiful basketball to watch. But instead of highlighting the beauty in the 5 men on the court moving as one, like a symphonic orchestra, like jazz, because basketball is jazz, boy. That's why I love basketball so much. That shit is jazz. And the way Shaq played, as dominant as he played like overpowering, overbearing, like I would say something like the Thelonious Monk on that piano, or Max Roach on the drums. That was Shaq. Shaq, probably Max Roach on the drums described Shaq the best. You know, or Coltrane on the sax. And then Kobe was more like Miles Davis, smooth and could play multiple styles. But instead of ESPN and Fox Sports explaining the game to you that way, you had these 2 gods that they pitted one against the other. Shaq versus Kobe, Kobe versus Shaq. Ooh, who's better, Shaq or Kobe or Jordan? Shaq or Wilt Chamberlain? Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? And it's always pitting black men against one another. But then when I was sitting watching ESPN, they would then go to the baseball highlights, and they would talk about how great Randy Johnson was and Kurt Schilling when they were on the same team. They didn't have these long ass debates about who was the better pitcher. They didn't do that. When I watched the football highlights, they allowed Tom Brady and Peyton Manning to be great. I don't watch football no more. Hell, I stopped watching ESPN 12 years ago. But I noticed when I would watch, you could get Tom Brady and Peyton Manning can be great, and Ben Roethlisberger. They would talk about the difference in styles between the quarterback, but they would do it in a way that both were still allowed to be great. But when it came over to basketball, Kobe or Tracy McGrady, like their games are so different. Tracy McGrady was more of a ball handler, taller, and he could do the things that Kobe can do, but he more so, as much as Tracy McGrady scored, he was more of a passer than Kobe, but they wouldn't highlight that nuance within Tracy McGrady's game. It would basically be like, oh, these is 2 black niggas that are really good at basketball, so we gonna make them the same. Same with the whole Jordan and LeBron debate, or the Jordan and Kobe debate. Their games are way different. Kobe and Jordan's games were way different. They'll get you stuck on the first 3 years of Kobe's career when this fadeaway was just like Jordan's fadeaway. And they'll be like, oh, he just copied Jordan. Nigga, that wasn't even Jordan's fadeaway. All players that went to the University of North Carolina had that fadeaway. Rasheed Wallace, James Worthy, Vince Carter, Jerry Stackhouse, we can go down the line. That was a North Carolina Dean Smith staple, that fadeaway shot. But, they would always compare the 2. And so I'm saying, listen, bear with me, lady. I know there's a lot of ladies watching. Y'all don't give a fuck about sports, but bear with me. I'm tying in a bigger point, and we're gonna tie all this shit in together. Sports, it's cold out here in LA tonight. Shit, that's why I got my hoodie on. It's 59 degrees right now, nigga. I'm cold. So if y'all asking why is Dwan wearing a hoodie, get yours now at Hotepish.com. It's because it's 58, 59 degrees in LA right now. That's too fucking cold, nigga. My fat is made for beauty, not to keep warm. Nigga, I'm a summertime nigga. I need shorts and t-shirts. Nigga, I do not like this cold weather. And if you live in another part of the country, y'all down at 20 degrees, that's your fucking problem, not mine. If your side of the country snows and gets ice sheets on the ground when you drive, tough titty, that ain't my problem. You chose to live in that cold and tundra. I chose to live in LA, goddammit. Yeah, the rent's high, but I ain't got to deal with no black ice on the road either. I'll take that exchange all day. Nah, Mari, this hoodie's made out of your mama's pussy lip skin, boy. It's the same circumference, too. The same circumference. They just took your mama's pussy lips, the whole circumference of it, and made my hoodie. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to shoot these jokes with me, nigga. Well, anyway, back to what I'm saying. Sports. So what? How they keep the propaganda going? ESPN realized that black men are the most unemployed, highest unemployed. So we're by far the highest viewers and highest watchers of daytime sports TV. So they started putting a lot of black anchors on sports TV, especially when Disney bought. When Disney bought ESPN, I think that was in 2000, 2001. They made a concerted effort to put a black face on almost every show, especially shows dealing with either football or basketball, because those are the sports that we play the most. That's to keep us engaged. And what they can do, that's how you know that nigga sense that nigga mad. Unfortunately, Mari, I don't think you can do better. You shot your load, and the bitch she was with is disappointed. She calling her other nigga right now after you shot that load. She kicking you out, and she about to have a whole new dick appointment in about 62 minutes. You got 15 minutes to leave so she can take a shower. Excuse me. So, back to what we talking about. What ESPN does and Fox Sports, they get these athletes retired, because if you want to find a hater, it ain't no bigger hater on earth than a retired athlete talking about a current athlete. These niggas that retired, think about the psychology to be an athlete. You spent your whole life training 8 to 12 hours a day to play a sport. Now you're 35 years old and it's over with. You get a job working for ESPN, Shaq or whatever, TNT, Barkley, and now you got these new cats coming in. And their games are a little more evolved than yours. Well, no center has evolved past Shaq yet. But Charles Barkley, his game has been evolved. And they not only have they evolved your game using your moves, they're getting paid more money than you. And worse than that, they're not getting the attention anymore. So, since they're not getting the attention anymore, they get attention by shitting on the athletes that do get the attention. Hey, Chris, or any of my mods, this nigga got one more bad joke before y'all put him in timeout. All right? Back to what we talking about. So, thank you, Negrito. Bazooka joke comics are more amusing than them tired ass jokes. This motherfucker is hitting us with jokes he learned on Nickelodeon. Like, I got him. Nigga, if you don't get those Keenan and Kel jokes up on out of here, motherfucker. This nigga getting his jokes from 90s B movies. Nigga took a random joke from the movie Good Burger and said, I'm gonna use it on Dwan because he's fat. I can't stand people with bad fat jokes. Fat jokes are so goddamn easy to shoot off. I keep getting distracted. Back to what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So, so we talking about. So what happens is it's a natural stew that's mixed up. You have the combination because athletes are insecure by default. To be an right now, 100%, 100% of professional ball players are insecure. Why? Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that whether or not they make everything about their life is dependent upon other people's opinions of them. Whether or not they make the team is dependent upon the coach's opinion. Whether or not they make a $1 million a season or $20 million a season or $40 million a season is dependent upon the opinions of the general managers of teams. So you're dealing with a naturally insecure person. And go back before the NBA, when you're in high school, which high school you play at, which AAU team you play at, is dependent upon the opinion of the coach at that school. How much playing time you get is dependent upon the opinion of other people. Every move you make, every endorsement deal you sign, all of that is dependent upon the opinions of other people. Why am I telling you guys this? Because I'm always talking about I don't like to judge, and the reason why I don't judge is because I understand the scenario. I understand the circumstances. Now, I'm going to talk shit and I'm going to deliver my opinion, but I'm not judging you for being either way. I get the environment that happened. I just want to give you guys an understanding of the environment that goes into the psychology of the athlete. Every move they make, everything that they do, every breath that they take, the only thing that's not relying upon somebody else's opinion is when they go do what they do in the bathroom. Everything outside of that bathroom, somebody else's opinion has a hand in what they do. So now the old athlete is old. He can't play anymore, can't hoop. He's been getting the attention of especially white people, because niggas love white attention. Shit. Niggas drink white attention like Kool-Aid. Extra sugary Kool-Aid too. I ain't talking about the more refined up on us. Those of us who aren't like that, in the rare case, some of you guys were raised, for the most part, that was an evolution we've had to go through. Because we've been educated by them watching their TV shows and stuff like that. Let's just tell the truth. Niggas love white attention. White attention, man. A nigga will take white attention over a house in Beverly Hills. Because if you give him a house in Beverly Hills, he's going to be like, ooh, how am I going to pay the taxes? He get right into self-doubt mode. How am I going to pay the taxes? You ever hear like old black women say, I don't want a house that big. Ooh, yeah. Who going to clean all that? Nigga, motherfucker, if you got a house that goddamn big, you can afford someone to clean the motherfucker for you. But you give black people something that they want in a big way, they'll go right into, the first thing they'll do is go right into fear mode. But you get some white attention, shit. Just look at the smiles on niggas' faces when Hillary Clinton came around back in 2016. Just niggas is cheesing, looking like them emojis on your phone. The teeth emojis. So these same niggas that love that white attention raise these little ass kids that want white attention. Black people don't teach our children about racism overall. And for those of you who want to learn better, I need to promote my shit more. For those of you who want to learn better on how to teach your kids about racism, I actually did a video like a year and a half ago on my breakthroughas.org website. I did a video, a whole webinar on dealing with racism with your children. And so back to what we talking about. On to my Patreon subscribers. I'm about to send y'all a gift, because I told y'all I was going to do a video last month and I didn't. I'm going to send y'all a gift. Watch it. Just let's talk on Patreon. Anyway. We, so You get these athletes that they've been getting white attention since they were 9, sometimes younger than that. I'm telling y'all, when I used to coach AAU basketball, I get a kid 8, 9 years old, can't walk and chew gum at the same time, develop them. By the time they 12, they getting taller and they can hoop now. And here come these white run programs, pump and run. Salute to Dan and Pump. I like Dan and Pump. I like Dan and Pump. I've been over his house a few times. Every time you go out with him and they eat, that motherfucker, that's a Cristal drinking motherfucker right there. But you have the pump and run. You have Compton Magic out here in LA. You got these different AAU teams. And they have black coaches, but they run by white folks. You go to these tournaments. You got these shoe companies coming to you, your shoe reps, give you all the shoes you want. You're getting all this white attention when you're 12, 13, 14, 17, 18 in college, 20 in the NBA. You don't want to get that shit up when you retire. So what you gonna do? Here come ESPN. Here come Fox Sports. Hey, we got a job for you. Come over here, nigga. I mean, Shaq. Come on over here, Jigaboo. Yeah, you. Charles Barkley. Come on over here. We got a job for you. That's what they do. And then now, they know inherently Charles Barkley, Shaq. In order for me to, Charles Barkley just signed another big ass deal with TNT. What do you think that deal came with? You think TNT would give Charles Barkley that much money to empower black people? You don't get money for empowering black people. If you do get money, if you go empower black people, you better do that shit on the low. If they give you money and a mic, you ain't empowering black people. What up, Frank? You can guarantee that. If they give you money and a mic, you can't empower black folks. Speaking of D1, my man Franchise. So we live with the people. Live with the people. This nigga got a son balling in D1 school right now. How your boy doing?
Great, man. Shock the country.
I'm telling these niggas right now how the AAU system work. How they be throwing money at them babies from day one.
Oh, yeah. And they got any potential, they gonna hype the hell out of it.
Yeah, how they be playing, how they play one black player against the other all day. They don't let both them niggas be great. My man Frank, he got a boy. What school year?
Yeah, East Carolina.
He playing D1 at East Carolina. His son. That boy is a man. I went to go see this nigga's boy play. This motherfucker dropped like 60 points, but it was smooth. Cause it was like in the first half. In the first half, he probably had like 15. Cause he missing a lot of shots in the first half. Maybe 15, 20 in the first half.
But probably about 20.
Yeah, probably about 20 in the first half. That little nigga came, and this nigga ain't even 6 feet tall. This little nigga came in the third quarter, just yak. I was like, God. Yeah, he was wetting them niggas up with them threes, boy. Hell yeah.
14, 15,
Y'all can catch my man Frank on Quake's house every now and again. Whenever he can get on down there, y'all. He been on Quake's house since what, season 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all catch him on Quake's house every now and again. Franchise. Y'all need to look up Franchise, a comedian. That boy funny as hell. But hell yeah. Yeah, but it's on over there. I'll holler at you, man. Yeah. That boy's son is cold. That boy's son is cold. So even little small schools like Eastern Carolina, niggas throwing bags. Shit, little niggas, they give every now and again, them niggas get private jets and shit. That's the money, that's the access. I'm glad my man Franchise came over here while y'all was alive. That's the access. That's what it's like. They've been treating Franchise like a king the last 4 years because his son is so dope on the court. This nigga, they rolling. Anyway, we be at the Drew League. They be rolling out the red carpet for this nigga. Because his son can hoop. Thing is, franchise raised his son Balance. He didn't let his sons go to, hey, franchise, real quick. Come over here real quick, Doc. I got to ask you a couple questions, just real quick. You don't mind? Yeah, you don't mind? Cool. I'm glad to hear, because I'm already talking about like how they treat, how black athletes are, you know what I mean, and how they separate them, and how they no, this is I know earthquake. He thought this nigga we high. Nah, I gotta get this patch. I gotta get this piece of cement patch. Matter of fact, I was gonna call a cement company when I get back from DC to get this shit fixed.
Man, you see going on this
motherfucker. Yeah, but like franchise. What kind of like when your son playing, like how hard was they coming at y'all? When they like his senior year when they really started.
Well, I mean, what you mean, like?
I mean, like once you decide like to commit, like the offers they was throwing, like.
I mean, you know, they were holding out most of the year with the offers because of his height. But he kept, you know, let's see what he does this game. Let's see how far they go. We went to the furthest game, the championship game. Kept knocking down whoever they put in front of him, including.
I was at that game.
Yeah, including LeBron James Jr. He played him. They wanted to see him.
When
the season ended and we went into travel ball. They still was like, let me see what he can do here. What he gonna do when he go to Indiana? And he just kept killing. And the thing is, you know, the cards is always stacked against him. All his last year was from the grades to, you know, to.
But once they got in, I remember after that game when he told Bronny up. After that game, they started coming at him real tough.
Oh yeah.
Like what was it like at that point?
It was hectic. You know, it was a little hectic for him. He just wanted to get solidified and get the offer that he was looking for. He felt he deserved, and when it came, you know, finally, it was all smooth sailing up from there on. But before that, man, it was he was anxious.
Yeah.
You know,
but like you see how it is when how they treat these little young black athletes.
Oh, yeah.
When you get into that AAU ball, all the resources thrown their way.
Everything. Oh, man,
what kind of shit you see around like your son's teammates and the AAU people? Don't know names. You ain't got no names out there. What kind of shit you see get thrown out there?
You know, certain kids will get all type of attention. They get all type of exposure. And blatantly other kids wouldn't. Because, you know, they felt like this kid got the goods and this kid don't.
They play one against the other.
Yeah.
And the separation don't even be that much.
My son had to deal with that a lot. He was better than the guy he was behind. And they admitted that once it was over with, like, well, we really.
That's because what? Nike started putting money into these kids' pockets when? Like the ones that they get early. Nike and Adidas.
They been,
what? How young?
Oh, shit, that'd be 8th grade, man.
8th grade, yeah.
If they out there shining at 8th grade, 7th grade, bro, they already got motherfuckers putting money behind them. They never pay for anything. They don't
pay for shit.
I mean, we didn't pay for nothing. I ain't bought a pair of shoes in high school.
He already said. This man said he ain't bought a pair of shoes his son's whole high school ride.
They've been sponsored by Adidas the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And they would give him so much stuff, we wouldn't have to worry about nothing all year. Like get a shipment every year or two.
Yeah,
every year.
Shipment of 2 every year. Yeah. But that's what I was saying earlier. Like when I was talking to the chat room, I was like they spoil them real young, and they try their best to separate them from their community. But you did the right thing, and you kept your kid grounded and local.
Yeah, I didn't send them out into the valley or to the IE or nothing wrong with them, those places if you're from there, but I'm not shipping my son all the way.
How hard was they pressuring you to ship him?
Pressuring you? The last 2 years, every school in the city and abroad wanted him, man. They was trying to get him to lead King Drew. We play teams in the championship game, and after the playoffs over, the next game, they trying to recruit him. They supposed to be playing the championship game. They trying to get my son. He in the 10th grade.
You said so schools outside, like LA, like other states?
Yeah, it was some interest from other states. With like, he had high profile friends like, certain players like Mikey Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was interest to go elsewhere with him. You know what I mean? And other teammates, hey man, come over here and play with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the coach would use the kids, their friendships, to try to get them to, woo my son. He came at me a few times and offers from other schools, private schools, high profile basketball schools.
Yeah.
They all would reach out. They reached out the last 2 years, but I just wanted him to. I kept telling them down, like, nah, bro, you gonna stay where you at.
Yeah.
There was no need for him to go anywhere.
And right.
I want him to stay in the community.
And that right there is the importance of having fathers with these basketball, because they love when they see a black kid with a single mom. Oh, yeah. And it's no disrespect if it's single moms, but every child needs a male influence, and they not only is it a male influence, it's a male influence with money behind it. You're not going to
prey on the single mothers.
Yeah,
the coaches prey on them. Some of the coaches, they prey on the single mothers.
Yeah,
especially where kid is tough. If he's a good athlete, good player, they a lot of times they be on the up and up, but also a lot of times they don't, man. They just be trying to use the relationship with the kid and get a relationship with the mom, if you know what I mean. And,
man, hey moms,
any way they can.
Hey mom, stop throwing the thing out there for playing time. Stop doing that. It's a lot of the moms out there doing that, but it's a lot of coaches, and a lot of coaches taking advantage of that shit too.
Yeah, a lot of coaches is not honorable. A lot of them are. I know some honorable ones that on the straight and up, but it's a dirty business.
It's a dirty ass, like that whole basketball system, high school, middle school. It really starts getting intense in middle school, 7th, 8th grade.
Oh yeah, well they rank them in middle school, so you start ranking kids that don't even have all the fundamentals down. You're like, well, damn, man.
They ranking kids with no left hand and can't shoot outside 15 feet. But as y'all like, I'm glad franchise came here, man, because his son, as I say, is a freshman right now in Eastern Carolina, so he's been going through it. And your next son is dope too. That motherfucker, he getting better. I saw that video you posted. That boy in the last 4 months.
He's the lead guard, so you don't have his brother to defer to right now.
Yeah.
So he gotta handle all of it himself. Not all of it. He got other teammates, but.
And didn't you have a daughter that played ball?
Yeah. She stopped now though.
But she played in college, right?
Yeah, she played college. Yeah.
So you talking to a man right here, my man Franchise. He called himself Franchise because he got a franchise of goddamn kids. This nigga got.
Franchise finally gonna be profitable, look like.
And the dope thing about Franchise, he keep himself off camera. We can't even get on camera. So that's dark.
You can't see my black ass. Ain't no lights over here.
Yeah, ain't no lights over here. Well, anyway, Franchise, he has a daughter that played D1 basketball, a son that's in D1 basketball, and another son on his way to D1 basketball. Worst case scenario, D2, but that boy gonna make D1. So you're dealing with someone out of his 5 kids. 2 have already played Division I basketball, and the 3rd is on the way to play Division I basketball. He raised his sons and his daughters in the middle of South Central LA, in all the worst neighborhoods y'all hear about in the news. And they all 5 very respectful, very cool, very well-mannered, non-ratchet ass kids. You ain't gonna hear his daughters smacking their lips. Yeah, or they has. This man got 5 kids. You ain't gonna hear them smacking their lips, smacking their ass. His sons walk with their head up, shoulders erect. You know what I mean? Shows the power of having a father in the household. And so like Franchise, dealing with them, dealing with those, how did, they usually had like a black coach to deal with you, didn't they?
Most of their coaches were black.
Yeah.
They
it's white money behind it, but.
Yeah, it's been white money behind it sometimes, but most of the time they dealt with black grassroots programs, like the City Ball. They started with the City Ballers in the heart of South Central, like Fremont High School.
I forgot about the City Ballers.
Yeah, and City Stars.
Yeah.
And, those are the 2 teams that they grew up playing, and kind of like family teams, like 2 friends.
Yeah.
One is Stars, one is Ballers, but they both City.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when they went from there, that's when he got to high school, and then that's when, after he had such a great year his freshman year, because he was starting varsity ever since a freshman, King Drew, that's when Compton Magic came.
Compton Magic. I was just telling him about Compton Magic right before he walked up.
Yeah,
and the pump and run, all these different
Nike, what you call them, why not, and all that.
Yeah, Nike, why not?
You know,
and then you got your lower level teams, the gold level teams, where ain't none of them kids gonna make them niggas. Even one might make D3,
right.
But they hustle them parents.
Yeah, they be paying all kind of money to pay send their kids. And you know, so a lot of the parents, they know what's up. They just be hopeful that, you know, they just want to be a part of it. They want their kids to be a part of their basketball experience, that star athlete. You know, and I'm just grateful that my kids were, you know, great athletes, and they listen, coachable, and you know, they always had a desire to get better.
Yeah.
And so I didn't force that on them. That's just what they.
That's the direction they went in.
They shared the love I have for it, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm even more grateful that they were very, very good.
Yeah.
Because that's another part that they take advantage of. Not just the single moms, sometimes the fathers, because the fathers be wanting so much.
They be wanting to live through their kids again.
They want their kid, and it's like, if you're really a ball player, you really know ball, you look at your kid and you know if they can play or not in the first couple minutes. You know, it takes long to see if somebody can hoop or not.
It takes about 2 minutes.
Yeah. And then after that 2 minutes, you know what you're dealing with. Yeah. And you know what they need to work on.
Reach at 30 seconds. And about a minute and 30 seconds of confirmation.
So it's like, you know, but these people want so much, and they throw money and favor, and then they be expecting, they be entitled, and they expect.
Somebody in the chat room called you the Hood LeVar Ball. Hey, Spud.
That's me. I told him that too when I met him.
Oh, yeah.
He did. Hood LeVar Ball, and he cracked up.
Yeah,
I know. I met LeVar a few times. He's a good guy.
He always down there at the Drew League.
Yep, always. So I've had a few conversations with LeVar. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I am the Hood LeVar Ball and shit. I'm glad my kid is good like his. I hope they go far like his did.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They take it, man. It's an ugly game, man, because I'm privileged to have the sons that I have, as good as they are. But it's other kids and other parents that kids aren't that good, and
they get hustled.
And then some.
Let me tell y'all something out there.
It's sad to look at, man.
Let me tell you out there, listening. If you got a kid that's a marginal talent on basketball, the AAU season on the cheap end, on the absolute cheapest shoestring budget end, is gonna run you $6,000. On the shoestring budget end, and I mean, and if you only paying $6,000 for one summer, that means your kids is enrolled in some janky ass tournaments, and ain't nobody coming to watch your kid play. The coach gonna tell you, oh yeah, we going to the Pangos tournament, and yeah, you'll be at the Pangos, but the Pangos tournament, the coach is in the platinum, your kids is in the gold division, but they'll hustle you, Fab 48, all this shit. Utah.
My son played in the top 20 percentile of the high school talent in the country, and anything under that, they be working them.
They work you. If you ain't at 20%, it on the low. Really, it's gonna cost you about 10 G's a summer. If you're gonna be with a
Nike or Adidas, you all right.
Yeah.
You're not on one of them.
And usually if your kid is good enough, they're really good enough, they gonna get scholarship. You ain't gonna have to pay shit. If you paying, your kid ain't gonna make it.
I've never paid for AAU basketball.
You've never paid for the AAU basketball for none of your kids.
No, they all
exactly.
They were asked to play, and you know, I might have had to pay something small here or there, just but
some little offshoot payments, but
plane tickets, flights, and all that, hotel stay. You know, they want them to play. They taking care of all that.
But meanwhile, you got these other ones, and I'm not saying every program is a hustle, but the tournaments they playing for be hustling.
They just getting them games.
Yeah,
they real tournaments, they real games, and they real competition. But it may not be no real coaches there looking at them like that. No, not the.
That's the part that's a hustle.
Yeah, that's the part that's a hustle.
It's
like comedy sometimes. They do it like comedy. Yeah. Just a showcase.
Because I used to coach for a program that was mid-level, and we know they had to pay for us. We didn't have no sponsorships. Right. But we really taught kids how to play basketball. Right. But what would happen is the minute we taught them how to play basketball, one of those sponsor programs would come and take our kid.
Yeah, the big program, that's when they go.
But we wouldn't lie to parents. We would just like, look, if your kids like playing basketball, we gonna develop their game.
Yeah.
That's all. We wasn't saying we was
There's
going.
nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that because you could be paying, and you could come to a program like the one I used to develop, and then in a year or two, you'll get recruited.
Yeah.
But watch out. If it's a lot of single mothers out there listening to me, a lot of fathers out there listening to me, if your kid's playing basketball, listen for these things that franchise is talking about because it's a world of sharks out there. But for those who are known it and those who are blessed, they get these priority treatments, and that priority treatment goes in the psychology of thinking that if you don't have if you're not grounded with a father like franchise, you go around thinking you better than all the other niggas. How many times you see that? How many niggas we know that was destined to make the NBA, and like they was one mindset now where we see them now in the last 2 years and they didn't quite make it and they.
You know how many times the other dads come up, and I'm usually not saying nothing. I'm usually talking to my kids if I'm saying anything, you know, being a dad with them. But here come the other guys, you know.
Yeah.
Me and your son franchise, you know, dad, me and your son is good. I don't know about the rest of these kids. I be looking at people.
Man, you don't sit your monkey ass. Your kid run like he got 3 left hips. And 2 left feet, yeah. Your son run like his big toe is on his pinky toe. He ain't that good.
And he can't shoot, and he's scared. Like you got to get the kid in the.
You swing him the ball, he.
A lot of these people don't want to. You know, it's no shortcut, bro. If your kid stay in the gym,
let me get my water up. Come over here real quick.
He gonna do his thing, bro. But
yeah.
If your kid ain't been in the gym and you just want to think you're gonna throw some money behind them, they gonna work you.
They gonna work you, nigga.
In their life, and nothing beats reps. Them getting in the gym, getting their reps, so you know what your kid can do, and you know that they really can play, and you can't be bullshit. Because if you got the goods, you ain't gonna be paying all that money. So the thing is to make sure they work, make sure they're in the gym, make sure they really want to play.
How many hours a day are you in the gym to get a kid D1 school? How many hours a day are you in the gym?
Well, my son's usually, on average, they're in the gym about 4 hours a day.
What did I tell y'all?
A lot of times, 2 hours, 2.5 hours of practice, another hour and a half of just shots.
Because practice ain't enough.
No, you have to stay either before or after practice.
Yeah.
Like Coach said all the time to the boys, he said, I know the ones that really want it is the ones that stay in here and work on the stuff that, you're not going to get all this stuff in practice. You take what we show you and go over it over and again in practice, but then on your own time, you're working on this stuff, getting good at it yourself. So when practice time comes and game time comes, you do that much better.
So in the off season, when you're not with a team, now your son's in D1. How many hours a day is he dedicating to basketball?
Right now, he's playing about. I know he got team practice 3 days a week, and he got individual workouts every day. I think twice a day, and he has strength and conditioning workouts once a day as well. So I think that's the other workout. I think it's individual workout in the gym, and then one of the coaches, and then strength and conditioning workout, and then they have the full team workout for time.
So we probably put in about 6 hours on them days?
And on his own, he going there probably about 2 hours.
No, 2 hours. It's about 8 hours of basketball.
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours a day.
What did I tell y'all before the man got doing? 6 to 8 hours a day.
He's basically a professional.
That's how much work. Before you got here, this is what I was telling them before you got here. I'm talking about Shaq and Charles Barkley, how they going at Kyrie Irving, and but basically how I'll say, tell me if I'm wrong. I said the biggest haters oftentimes is old niggas judging young players, and so what they do with ESPN, they create this naturally tense environment. They get some old niggas who's used to getting the attention from white folks, used to being the prima donna, used to being the man. Now they old and retired. They got younger cats that picked up some of their game that they see, but they making more money, but they getting the attention now.
Yeah.
And I was telling you before you got here. Yeah, and I was saying before you got here, like how people, if you're like a Shaq, if you're like a Barkley, if you're like on that level in today's world, you getting attention from the age of 10 on. You know what I mean, from these people, and it hurts when it ain't there no more.
Yeah.
So when ESPN come along and say, "Here, I'll pay you a few dollars," you can say something good about these two players. Don't say anything bad about these Europeans, because they never talk about the downside of Luka's game. They never talk about think about it. In Dallas, Porzingis and Luka never got along. Yeah, they had like some European beef. Yeah. The media never brought that shit up. No. They never brought up the fact that there was
just never went nowhere, and they shipped Porzingis out of there quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I remember that. Like, it just was like they just did not mix at all.
Yeah. And the media never said anything about it. They respected that. So I was saying how, like, you get these old players who they hate on young players regardless, but you go give them a check, nigga.
Yeah, they create. I was thinking about you when I was watching that, because you were always talking about the narrative that they try to create and push for a lot of these black athletes that they don't for everybody else. And so when Kyrie did what he did, and no matter how many times, I watched the interview several times, and then I watched what Shaq and Charles Barkley said. The thing was, no matter what that boy said, they did not hear him say, "I'm not promoting anything. I'm not promoting anything." I just because I post shit on my page that I don't necessarily agree with, but I've been wanting to see what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's okay to do that.
Or sometimes you be like, "This is what I'm watching right now."
Yeah.
I was watching Friday last week, so I just put a screenshot of me watching Friday. I'm not promoting Friday, but
I don't mean I promote smoking weed.
A nigga watching Friday. That's all.
But they no matter who he asked them the question or who they posed the question to, they all kept saying the same line, the same thing. Yeah, he's promoting anti-Semitism. He's promoting and no matter how much he said, "I'm not promoting anything," they still kept saying how he's an idiot for promoting anti-Semitism, man. And he should be suspended.
Can y'all hear franchise chat room? Yeah, they loving you what you're saying right now, man. That's so.
I don't like how they doing that, man, like that, just because he,
and who are they using? Old niggas.
Oh man, I couldn't believe. I was so disappointed in Shaq. He tried to talk around it, but he had to end up just dumping on him at the end of his statement. Like, he said some bullshit and ended up saying, he's an idiot. I'm like, well, why is he an idiot? You just said why he's an idiot. You just said.
Where was Shaq when this LA City Council did what they did to Black America, Black LA? Where's Shaq and Barkley when we talking about, like, you get these niggas that come out of nowhere. We're talking about Kanye West, Kyrie Irving. What they doing right now, dog, is they over here, they're promoting, they're putting us out there as targets of hate. Yeah. Because we're marching for reparations, and for y'all out there, I'll be in Washington, D.C. this weekend for the Rally for Reparations. I'll be in D.C., so if you in D.C., holla at me. So we marching for reparations because that's where we at right now. So black folks is making these moves, so they got to make who public enemy number one.
Taking action.
Yeah. They got to make us public enemy number one. So they're equating what Kanye West said, what Kyrie Irving said, to actual violence perpetuated against us. Yeah. And like the fact that the movie that Kyrie promoted, they didn't say it was a lie. They just said it promoted but they didn't say it was lying.
Yeah, they didn't say it was a lie.
And so they definitely didn't turn it on and say, okay, here's where the lie is in the movie. Let's debunk this point. They did not debunking any points. They're just saying, so basically the violent action here is, to me, the way I look at it, dog, the way I look at it, violence is you aggressively taking the truth from me. That's violent.
They're the one inciting violence. We're trying to say that he's promoting something that he's not.
Yeah.
And what he's promoting gets people riled up.
Yeah.
Upset and make certain other people.
They lying.
Shit. And they're lying.
Because it's like, so what they do is they get these old weird ass niggas to be the ones, Shaq, Barkley, you know.
He tried to be on the fence.
Kenny is the realest one.
Yeah, he was.
Hey, I got a quick Kenny Smith story for y'all in the chat room. All-Star Weekend in New Orleans. I think that was 08 or 09 or 07, one of them fucking years. It's rather Hurricane Katrina. We was at All-Star Weekend, and this is like one of the, like, you know, you had that one night where so many things happen, but if you tell the stories, niggas will be like, you full of shit. This was the night of the dunk contest. So after the dunk contest, because that's always the best. All-Star Saturday night's the best night. No. Dunk contest, that was Frankie Beverly and Mays performed that night. And Snoop. Oh, wow. That's the night I met Kobe and Yao Ming. But the night before that, this was like remember the rookie game? Yeah, the rookie game that night. That's All-Star Friday. That's also when that's when the Michael Jordan party happened. That was the night I saw Chameleonaire get cussed out by Michael Jordan. Okay. And my Chameleonaire came to Michael Jordan was like, hey, because I was at the pool tournament where Chameleonaire won the jersey. Oh, okay. It was a pool tournament. And Terrell Owens had won some shit. Chameleonaire had won a signed Michael Jordan jersey. So we at the party, Chameleonaire walks up to Michael Jordan like, hey, I got this jersey, man. I want you to sign it. Michael Jordan looked at Paul Pierce and was like, who the fuck is this nigga? It was Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. It was the year the Celtics won the championship. Oh, okay. Yeah. When I was like, 2008. Because it was Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett were all standing talking to each other. And Chameleonaire walked up to them. They were all talking to Michael Jordan. Oh, okay. And Michael Jordan said, well, later on that night, because the Jordan party ended. So later on that night, we went to an after party in New Orleans, and we just saw Kenny Smith at the door. And he knew my boy, She. I didn't know Kenny, but he knew my boy. So he's like, shit, let's get a table. Okay. Nigga, we got a table, and we was with Kenny until like 6 in the morning. Nigga, that shit was so goddamn dope. And we had all, and my square ass, this was the year I had just got with Isha. Okay. This is the year I had just got with her. And he was married. Kenny was married. He wasn't out there tricking like that. You know what I mean? He was just at the party hanging out. Yeah. But we did have a lot of them. We had a lot of chicks around the table. Me and Kenny Smith talking basketball. we talking hoop for like 3 hours. Chicks all around, and all other niggas doing what they do. But he married, and I'm with a new one, and I've been wanting to get with her forever. So I'm like, I ain't doing shit. Nigga, I'm good. I was good. Yeah, that's smart. And it was Valentine's Day weekend. She let me. It was our first Valentine's weekend together. Because All-Star Weekend is always Valentine's weekend. That is true. So I'm in New Orleans on Valentine's weekend with a new girlfriend. Nah. So me and Kenny Smith was on our square shit, just talking basketball. But Kenny's a cool dude. But at the end of the day, TNT and ESPN, they hire these niggas to push their agenda. Yeah. The reason why I respect Kenny Smith is he just stays silent. I have never had any political discussions with Kenny Smith. I only partied with him one night in my life, and we talked basketball, not politics. I was 25, 26. I was talking basketball. So I didn't know. So I'm not speaking to the chat room like I know how Kenny Smith thinks politically. I don't. But looking at how he moved with TNT, I can tell that he know what it is.
That's what I'm saying. He stayed on the fence. He didn't dog Kyrie. He actually, he gave he kind of played devil's advocate. He's like, I believe what Kyrie is saying because this is what he's saying, that he's not promoting that. So I have to believe him when he says that. But I understand people questioning him putting the thing. So
Kenny Smith knows how to, I gotta play your game because I'm getting a paycheck for you, and I respect that. But I'm not gonna just overtly shit on my people.
He did not. But Charles and Shaq openly shit on him.
Them motherfuckers is Django level coons. Stevens from Django. Damn. And that's why I said when the show first started, dog, I love Shaq. Me too. But you gotta know, that's what I'm saying, like, sometimes you gotta know how to separate the basketball player from the man. Yeah. Shaq is still one of my 5 favorite players ever to watch. When Shaq would get that ball, especially on right block, he was good on left block too. But when Shaq got the ball on right block, and then he hit that shoulder, hit that drop step, that dunk on Chris Dudley, that was the greatest to me. That was the most. That was the most disrespectful dunk of all time.
I love that shit. He got batted through the ball.
That was the most disrespectful dunk of all time.
Yeah, that and when he dogged Mutombo in the final.
Yeah, on the one Mutombo? Yeah.
Mutombo, he beat his ass.
Mutombo, man, Shaq.
Mutombo was beat up and dunked on.
And Shaq, the year two, and I've been watching a lot of basketball. I first started consciously watching basketball in the 87 season. I was 5, 6. Because I remember watching a lot of that season when Lakers went back-to-back with Pat Riley. I remember watching a lot of that season. So that's when I really started focusing on basketball. When the Magic Lakers, I would see my parents watch, it would always be on. But so basically I've been watching basketball heavy since 1987, 88. The Shaq 2000 season, I think is the greatest season I've ever seen any one player have. And Kobe's my favorite. I like Kobe more than I like Shaq. But that Shaq 2000, the year he won, he should have been unanimous MVP. When they won that first championship under Phil Jackson, that was the most dominant season I've ever seen any one player have, ever. Ever.
He was a monster, man. Shaq is by far one of my favorite players to ever watch.
Yeah, you're right, Spud. Mark Jackson ain't going for that either. Mark Jackson knows how to I can't say everything I want to say.
But I ain't gonna say everything y'all want me to say.
Nigga, that's all we asked for.
I ain't doing all of that, bro.
That's all we asked for. Look, DwannBrown can handle the militancy. Everybody else can. You ain't got. I'll be militant for everybody.
You still gotta survive, man. You understand?
I could. I'm telling y'all right now in chat room, I could be militant enough for a good 2 or 3 million of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gotta be militant.
Steven ass niggas.
Yeah, it's them niggas.
That nigga on that man, bro. What you say on that man?
Hey, I'm glad y'all get to hear Franchise in the back. This is my dog. We started comedy together, man. Again, y'all don't know. All of y'all favorite internet comics, internet stars, these is our homies. These is the niggas. This nigga Franchise is on Quake's house. The motherfuckers, every time he do a show, when you get back doing your own shows, man, because your shows be dope.
I don't know. Soon, man. I gotta get it back rolling.
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. The real schedule.
Yeah.
I got thrown off them with my son and all that recruiting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going back next week. His first game is Tuesday.
Okay. My man Jay Ali calling me. I can't answer the phone right now because I'm live.
Yeah, but we gotta go see my guy.
Who?
My son's playing.
Oh, your son? Oh, yeah. Is he on the West Coast at all?
The closest he comes to the West Coast is Houston.
Damn.
Like Houston University. I'm going though. March. I think the game is on March 25th.
Okay.
In Houston, I'm catching a flight, man. I'm probably gonna go see.
I might catch a flight with you.
Cincinnati game.
Well, Larry live in Houston. Just remind me about a month out. Just remind me a month out.
I'll let you know.
A month out. I got it. Let's go.
I'm gonna print the schedule up tomorrow and see so I start really mapping out. We gonna go. I'm taking my family because they're the first.
Okay.
And they both home games, so we can.
Flights to Houston ain't that bad. So and I got people in Houston. Should I get a hotel like for that, man? So for y'all listening, nigga, yes, I'll be in Houston. What's it, March 26th? 25th? End of March sometime. I'm going to go down to Houston. I'm going there, and I think I'm going to set up a boxing match with Larry Goodwell when I'm down there. That's what I'm going to do.
Hey, that fool. That's my story. Yeah. I posted a boxing clip with some dude getting knocked out.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do to Dwan.
Hey.
How you on my page talking about you going to do the Dwan?
Dog, I swear to God, dog. I'm going to go to March 25th. Any of y'all in Houston, hit anybody in Houston, If ain't nobody in the chat room live in Houston, if you watching the video later on, if you're from Houston, let me know. Let me know where the boxing ring is so me and Larry can get down. I had it with this nigga.
You have to really set that match up.
I swear to God, I'm gonna knock this nigga's beard off.
That could be funny, man.
Yeah. So it just coincidence how tonight's topic is dealing with these old niggas and these athletes. And I got a man that got 3 out of his 5 children in Division I basketball. And he's raised franchise again, like I said. We talk all this shit. His franchise is an LA nigga, born and raised. South Central LA. When you went to Locke too, didn't you? Locke, if you know anything about LA, Locke was basically a public prison school. That's the reputation Locke had. Niggas that was a reputation, and in spite of all that, this man worked, took care, raised 5 black children. He didn't run out to Pomona. He didn't run to Riverside or Lancaster like a lot of you niggas did. He stayed his ass right here in South Central LA and raised 5 hella respectful children. Man, I mean, hella respectful children. Because that's the LA way. You dig what I'm saying? And these are the kind of people that they trying to gentrify up out of here, but this nigga ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. And, you know, in spite of what they throw at our children, it goes to show you guys listening, this is for the men out there. If, you know, I know a lot of times you can't be with your baby because some of these women really do be running game. Like, for real. Some of you niggas might catch a charge. I got a cousin who, you know, his baby's mom got his wife jumped. So it's real situations niggas dealing with out there. But if you can't be in your child's life in any kind of way, be in your kid's life, because and for the women out there who put it, because women put your children in the school into these programs like basketball, because you know your male child needs some level of masculinity. You know that inherently. So I see a lot of women make a lot of good money and they put their children in basketball and stuff like this, because really what they're doing is they're getting some masculinity built into their children. Women inherently know they need to put their children around men. Problem is, there's a lot of vultures out there in the basketball world. And yes, it's a lot of white money behind it, but they use blackface to vulture these children. And I'm not saying all of these programs are like that. What I am saying is be aware and use your instincts, use your caution. And if you got any questions, come to me for a card reading and I'll hook all that shit up. Again, my card readings, y'all, shit, I can read all kind of shit. I can read if your business partnership is gonna be successful or not. I can read if you for you businesses, if that employee is the right hire for you. I can tell you what their issues are gonna be. I can tell you how to solve those issues, relationships, all that shit. Anyway, but it's cool for coming. Man, thanks for coming by here, dog. Yes, sir, man. I gotta have you like on the show, like when I'm on the computer and shit. Cause I mean, I still want to talk to you one day, like just about raising. Cause I do want to do a show. I think I'm doing it on my Patreon, really about just. I'm doing it on YouTube, but about just raising, children. Cause there's a lot of people out here listening to my show, and they got children. And they live in the inner cities, and Right. But sometimes cats just they want to have a discussion, have a round table. You know.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. All right, dog. Yes, sir.
I'll let you tomorrow.
I'll holler at you. Oh no, I'm going. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to DC. So tomorrow. Matter of fact, what time you get out tomorrow?
10:30.
Come out here and smoke.
Okay.
Let's smoke.
I'll be through.
Yeah, let's smoke.
There it is.
For sure.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Cause I got some shit to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't talking to these niggas about that. So let's smoke tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my man Franchise. What's up, Fife Life? What's up, Smoke Splitter? Let's show you how the universe works, man. We just happen to be talking about this topic, and My man got 3 kids that play Division I basketball. And I tell you right now, if his son, Caleb LeCount, look up his son, Caleb LeCount, for Eastern Michigan University. I didn't even tell you his name, did I? Caleb LeCount, that's his son. He plays for Eastern Michigan University. No, I said Eastern Michigan, Eastern Carolina University. This little nigga's like 5'8", 5'9". If he was 6'3", he'd be one and done. He'd be a top 5 recruit. He'd be a top 5 lottery pick if he was 6'3". His only issue is being 5'8". But in spite of being 5'8", I've seen this nigga drop 45 points on a court full of people 6 and 7 feet tall. That boy can go. So this was for you parents out there dealing with children in sports. Hopefully, I was able to help you guys, because I know that's really what I want to do. Like I be coming in running my mouth and shit, but more so than selling product. Even the product that I sell, shit, everything I sell is educational. You buy some shit from me, nigga, you about to learn something. That's more than a lot of these motherfuckers can say. That's better than where a lot of people spend their money. You buy one of my t-shirts, you about to get a fucking history lesson. You dig what I'm saying? You buy one of my pieces of art, you about to learn something. You listen to my show, because the most valuable thing you can offer me is your time. So if you're gonna offer me the most valuable thing you can offer me, your time, I'm gonna respond and give you something that you can hold on to. And so I appreciate my man Franchise to come by. I love that nigga right there. For all you hoe ass niggas that talk about some black men can't never get along. Shit. I'm gonna tell you how me and Franchise met. When me and Franchise met, I was taking over this comedy, and I'm gonna get back to the show. I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about, my overall point, dealing with these niggas. But this is how it worked. When I first started doing comedy, around the same time I met Craig, Big Jai, London Brown, Daphne, about the same time we all met. Franchise came around at the same time Teddy Ray came around. Teddy Ray came around about a year after all of us started. Well, I can't say them. A year after I started. The rest of them niggas had started before me. Craig started about 3 months after me. Franchise and Teddy Ray came around about the same time. Brent Taylor. They all came about a year later, to the end of 2010. Well, I'm taking over this new comedy show at the Comedy Union, and there was this one other comic, I'm not gonna say his name, he wanted that show. He wanted to be the host of the show. But the owner of the Comedy Union gave me that job to host the show. And that dude, even though on the surface level he said everything was cool, it wasn't underneath. And he did a few little shyster type things underneath. And I'm not beating the dead horse, because that brother later on in life came to me and apologized, and I accepted his apology. So I don't hold any ill will towards that brother. If anybody ever know what I'm talking about, don't ever come around, don't stick this video up and be like, Dwan and such and such don't get along. Don't be a hoe. Don't be a hoe. That black man came to me later on and apologized. He did some, it was, and it wasn't even no major level shit. He did some small, it wasn't even nothing major. It wasn't nothing major. Some small little shit that you do when you're in your 20s, that when you get into your 30s, you realize, man, I ain't gonna do no shit like that no more. Well, anyway, that person did some kind of like little underhanded type stuff, and they basically tried to play me against Franchise, the person y'all just talked to. It basically, because they had like a whole nother room, and the way the room worked, and you know, it was some stuff to where, and then we was all part of a comedy crew. Broke one of my rules, I don't do crews. We was all part of a comedy crew, and he did some underhanded stuff and basically tried to switch out me for Franchise and play me against Franchise, and me and Franchise saw exactly what was going on, and we never even needed to talk about it. We just became friends. In the middle of somebody trying to play a black man against a black man, because he was insecure at that time in his life. Me and that black man became real life friends. And there have been plenty of times where he was going through some things, and that brother could call me at 2:30 a.m. and come over here to my garage and smoke out with me and just let's talk about it. Because that black man has been under a lot of pressure, just like all black men. But me and him, when he's under pressure, he know he can call me. When I'm under pressure, I know I can call him. I know if need be, if something hit me that hard and I had to cry to get it out, I could do that in front of that brother, and likewise. We dealt with some real life situations. We've dealt with some real life shit. And in the midst of someone trying to play me against him, we became really good friends. And then the person that tried to play me against him, that person later on ended up apologizing, and we all cool now. So another quick tidbit, let's start y'all out there. Now, there's certain people, even though you cool with, you still know the tendencies that they have, but you ain't got to hold a grudge. You see what the people did, you be like, okay, cool. We cool now, but I'm going to keep you over here, and I'm going to keep this person over here. You ain't got to hold on to grudges with people. You can get past things. Most shit that happens in life ain't worth holding on to. Some things are worth holding on to. If they try to do some weird shit with one of your kids, fuck them for the rest of their life. If they try to steal from you and take from your home, fuck them. But if most shit ain't that serious. Most shit is way more petty than that. Don't get no lifelong drama over some petty shit. Now, Franchise don't have a YouTube channel. I keep telling his ass to start one. But he work a lot, though. He can't start one. That brother worked 2 jobs. You see, that brother worked 2 jobs, and he still get out and do comedy. And then whenever he can get some time off one of his jobs, he go down and do Quake's house. But that's just a real life example right there of me not being someone that preached to you niggas. Because I don't believe in that preaching shit. I just tell you how I live my life, and you can take it or leave it. I don't want to convince nobody of shit. If you want to be someone that, if you listen to what I just said and you want to hold on to grudges, I don't give a fuck. That's your stress, not mine. But for those who are willing, those who do want to try to advance, let's go. Hey, y'all, I'm telling y'all right. Hey, I'm telling you right now. Yesterday was one of the best days of my life. You know, you ever have a day that's like a top 10 in your life? When you look back, you know this is going to be a top 10 memory of your life. Yesterday was that to me. I ain't going to drop no names. The people who were part of that day know who they are. It's not about name dropping. It's about just, man, nigga, yesterday was great. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm about to get a motherfucking personal trainer. Because I just said 2 weeks ago, nigga, I'm telling y'all right now. I'm going to get back to the message. But I got to preach to y'all real sick. I got to give you niggas the holy word real quick. You got to throw out to the universe what you truly want. Never compromise. The issue we have as a people, sometimes we feel we're not deserving of the best. You'll know exactly what you want, but then you'll compromise with yourself and say, I'll take this instead of that. Hell, motherfucking nah, niggas. Go for all you want. Nigga, I had 3 hours of sleep last night. I got in at 5 in the morning, and I had a 10 a.m. reading, which means I had to be up by 9. Nigga, I got 3.5 hours of sleep last night. What time is it? Midnight and a half? And I'm still going. That's how great yesterday was. But I told the universe, I was like, nigga, my fat ass, I need a personal trainer. Because the only way I know how to work out is play basketball. And I am not getting on the basketball court no more. I am permanently retired from basketball. You can't be 41 years old playing basketball on 300 and plus goddamn pounds. I could do that shit in my 20s. I can't do it now. Nigga, no. I get back on that basketball court, nigga, and nigga, no. Nope. I ain't about to be 41 years old with a sprained ankle. What kind of shit is that? How sorry is that? You 41 years old, fat with a sprained ankle from playing basketball. Nigga, that's weird. So I said, I need a personal trainer. Because, nigga, and I got one. Nah, Chris, I'm going personal training route because I'm trying to get a whole new program. I don't have a program. I know where to say I'm slipping. A lot of niggas want to act like they perfect. I know I ain't perfect. Nigga, when it come into, I ride my bike. Y'all see me, I ride my bike. I ride my bike 10 miles a day. That ain't shit. Riding a bike 10 miles ain't shit. I'll walk 3 miles, that ain't nothing. But I mean a workout regimen, like for real. I want some professional guidance. And I got somebody. And all I'm gonna say is, you guys will see. You guys will see. But back to what we talking about. We're talking about Negro apologists. So the first part of the night went way longer than I thought it would, but I was basically setting up the environment of how the mindset of the Negro apologist, how it's cultivated from childhood through where Shaq is right now. That Negro apologist mindset Shaq has started when he was 13. Probably started younger than that. It really started with his indoctrination watching cartoons in America at the age of 0. But it really started to get actively programmed as they become better and better basketball players. And really when they get into college. And so they've had that separation from their community. Now they truly in their heart feel that they're superior and morally superior to other black people. So when things go down like with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, these niggas run to a white person to show how much really what it is, the way they see it subconsciously, with Shaq, Charles Barkley, Nore, and all these people that run the white folks to apologize and to criticize black people for speaking out. Really what they doing is they're saying, hey, white man, I'm not like that nigga. We on the same team, me and you. I'm not on the same team with that nigga. I'm on team white supremacy. They making that shit very clear. A condition of our trauma as black Americans, which is why we need reparations. The brainwash is real. That's where our education reparations come in. But education reparations, we'll work with that after we get our cash first. After we get our cash reparations, then we'll come talking about education reparations. But in the meantime, we gotta deal with where we are. And where we are right now is a whole bunch of bug-broken, rich, weird-ass niggas. Nigga, Shaq, at what point, how much money is enough? How much money is enough? Like, I'm not trying to count people's paper, but it's a lot of ways to make money. It's a whole lot of ways to make money. But you choose to make money shitting on other niggas. Are we serious? And that's where we get the mindset of the Negro apologist. The Negro apologist knows good in the hell well what they doing. The Negro apologist is under no illusion what he's doing. The Negro apologist doesn't think about the impact of what he's doing because the Negro apologist only thinks about himself. That's the only thing the Negro apologist thinks about is himself. And we got a lot of these Negro apologists out here, man. And we got to deal with these hoe ass niggas. We got to deal with these hoe ass niggas. Oh shit, my song is on. My song is on. Oh shit. Hold on. My song is on wave. It's been about an hour, so I gotta roll me another blunt. You dig? And for all you niggas that be like, weed smokers don't do anything constructive, I guarantee you, put everything, what I produced this year and put out to the world next to niggas that don't smoke and drink. I guarantee you, I beat 90% of them ass. I smoke weed all goddamn. This past week I've only been smoking like 1 or 2 joints a day. But shit, like when I was putting together my cardiology whip, when I was putting together a lot of that shit, I had to slow down. I had to slow down because last week I was smoking like 7 or 8 blunts a day. 7 to 10 blunts a day up until like last week. I pulled back. Now I'm down to like 1 or 2 blunts a day. But I was like, shit, 10 blunts a day. Nigga, damn. Back to back. Was it did Whitlock? Nah. I don't watch no damn Jason Whitlock. Fuck Jason Whitlock. BB, you know how I can count how many blunts I smoke a day? Cause I buy these billionaire hemp wraps, and they come in tubes. And I was like, why do I keep ordering these motherfuckers? I get my shit on Amazon. I've been like, why do I keep ordering these motherfuckers? And I was like, God damn. Oscar Peterson's on right now. I love me some Oscar Peterson. This song right here, this some shit you want to listen to when you on mushrooms. You're gonna feel like you're on the beach. You're gonna listen to that shit when you're on a mushroom trip. I'm looking out DC, man. But we talking about the Negro apologists. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat room. Y'all got any questions? Y'all got any questions while I roll this? Speak now or forever hold your motherfucking peace. And get your candles from Jayla the Self-Esteem Queen. Lightthemood.com. 40% off with the product code WeSmoke22. I really should be asleep right now. I slept for 3 hours last night, 3.5 hours. And I am wide the fuck awake. And when I'm done with y'all, I might play Call of Duty. And that new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the remake, nigga. This new Call of Duty, I'm loving this shit. What's up, brunch winners? You niggas ain't got no questions? Are y'all driving? How many truckers I got here? What careers would I suggest people who want to be in sports but don't want to play? Personal training, coaching, media, law, because law's gonna get you into that agent's field. Being an agent is a good thing. Contract law, sports law, sports medicine. Oh, you see, you can't wait for Warzone 2? I don't care about Warzone's like whatever to me. I'm still in campaign mode. Like, I don't get online until I got a campaign mode. That's when I get online. And when I do get online, if y'all want to follow me on PlayStation, I will be playing those like survival type missions online. My PlayStation gamer tag is fuck you, PHUKYOU. My PlayStation gamer tag is PHUKYOU. Fuck you, but with the PH instead of an H. Yes, I'm an asshole. That is my gamer tag. That's for real my game tag. Fuck you, PHUK. I got that shit when I was in my 20s. I was young. Forgive me. That's why I got that motherfucker. I got one of the first game tags on PlayStation. I got that shit back on PlayStation 2. Was it 2 or 3? One of them two. Ooh. Count Basie on. Count Basie, that's God right there on the piano. That's Count Basie, that's music God right there, man. And I love that album, Live at the Tropicana. I love that album. That's another good album to listen to on mushrooms. But I'm excited about this personal trainer. And she like a celebrity trainer too. I'm telling you right now, y'all niggas ain't gonna be able to talk to me. I'm gonna turn arrogant on you niggas. No, I ain't. I'm just fucking with y'all. But nigga, I got myself a celebrity trainer, y'all. And she's gonna help me. I'm like, hell yeah, nigga. Cause before my knee surgery, I love working out. Well, after I had that second knee surgery, man, shit. When you had 2 knee surgeries like me, nigga, lazy becomes a very comfortable thing. And that's the first knee surgery I had when I was only 18. When you're 18, you could bounce right back from a knee surgery. But that second knee surgery I had in my early 30s, oh my God. Nigga, that discouraged my whole life. Yeah. Women. Yeah. You're saying, okay. That's a good question, Spud McKenzie. How do you look in the mirror or your child in the face after being an apologist? I don't know, man. For a reading, my readings are 200, 199, but it's worth it. And I will start teaching you how to read yourself, but I'm not gonna start that till next year. I'm busy as fuck right now. Maybe in February, I'm gonna start doing classes on how to read yourself in February. And classes, they ain't gonna be cheap now, I'm telling you right now. But because you could just buy but I ain't gonna teach. I will. See, brunch, I re-registered as an independent back in when John Kerry lost to George Bush in 2004. I was 23 years old in college, Santa Monica College, Los Angeles, California. Well, Santa Monica, California, and I had a dope ass political science teacher. And that semester, we did a lot of talking about that election. And I saw how much of an idiot Bush was. But then I also saw that John Kerry wasn't much different. He was a punk. So when he couldn't beat George Bush in 2004, George Bush is still the worst president of the century. Joe Biden is on his way, but I still put George Bush as the worst one of the century. George Bush, too, is probably one of the worst 10 presidents in American history. He's down there with fucking Tilden and fucking Rutherford B. Hayes. He's in that zone. Tilden and Hayes. What? That Rutherford B. Hayes. I said Tilden. I meant Tyler. Tilden didn't win. Rutherford B. Hayes won in 1872. But he's in that rung. He's down there with Woodrow Wilson, and Biden is on his way. Biden still got 2 more years to get to that level, and I'm sure he'll make it. I'm sure Biden will be on that Woodrow Wilson level of horrible when all is said and done. Nixon, and Reagan. Anyway, register however you want to register. I'm registered independent, so I can see both vote on either side. FDR was actually good for the country. No president was really good for black people. But the best, me personally, I think, because I look at the president in 2 different contexts. What was their good in the greater good for American society, and what was their good as far as the most minimal impact on black people? Who gave black people the most minimal harm? They've all harmed black people. So for you niggas out there that be thinking, well, this one's good because that one's bad, I don't think in them dumbass terms. Just because one is bad don't make the other good. It's just all varying degrees of horrible, okay? So I judge presidents on 2 scales. Their overall greater good impact on the success of the United States and their minimal impact on undermining black society. They all undermine black society, but to varying degrees. I put FDR near the top. When I look back, FDR, Eisenhower, those are some of the greatest presidents. Eisenhower was a nigga. President Dwight, his name was Dwight. Yes, he harmed black people by not giving black people access to the suburbs. Dwight Eisenhower harmed black people because he's the one that was responsible for building freeways through black neighborhoods. But overall, what he did with the country, Dwight Eisenhower was taxing the wealthy sometimes upwards of 93%. Every dollar made over $1 million was getting taxed at 93%. Now, of course, they had write-offs, but that was a tax bracket during the Eisenhower administration. And that right there, his taxing the wealthy at such a high rate is what built the suburbs, and it's also what built the American economy to where it is, because, World War II had the economy all fucked up and depressed and down. Eisenhower's policies, and they were extension of FDR's policies, because it was FDR's idea. I think FDR was taxing the wealthy at 70% for every dollar they made over $1 million, 70%. So FDR really, and then Dwight Eisenhower made it even more. So their taxing on the wealthy redistributed the wealth. And with FDR, The thing is, he pushed the New Deal. The New Deal was the greatest piece of legislation in American history. The New Deal brought about, health care and Social Security. It brought about, the New Deal brought about, workers' rights, unemployment. All that stuff was an extension of the New Deal. A lot of the benefits that we benefit from today are extensions of New Deal policies. Now, New Deal policies, the only issue with New Deal policies was they were carefully crafted to leave out the industries that Black Americans dominated. Farming, service industry. That's why waiters and waitresses can be, in some states, can be getting paid $5 an hour, $2 an hour, and only getting tips, because the New Deal left that industry out. That's why all the Mexicans on these farms can get paid $1 a day, because goddamn it, because at the time Black people were the farmers. They didn't need Mexicans. They had Black people here, and they purposely crafted Black people out of the economy. And so no, you Black, you still only gonna get paid $1 an hour a day. You're not part of this New Deal policy. So he did do that, but part of the reason why FDR did that was because Congress would not have passed the New Deal had it included Black people. So in order to get the policy passed, guess what? You got to exclude us out from getting benefits. And that's why your grandparents, a lot of times your grandparents may have had a white person that they worked for, or at some point in their life they worked on a farm or something like that, and they had to work so hard. That's because Franklin Delano Roosevelt made sure that Black people were not included in New Deal policies that gave them equal workers' rights and all that good shit. So he did have an impact on Black people. Eisenhower, with his Freeway Act, did have a major impact on Black people. But some of the things they did, as far as another thing FDR did that was good, and this is the reason why I put Franklin Delano Roosevelt as the greatest American president, again, that's a relative conversation, was because in 1941, A. Philip Randolph threatened to have a march on Washington. Mind you, this is 20 years before Martin Luther King. A. Philip Randolph used to get in FDR's ass. The reason why Black people can get jobs in the military private sector, like jobs like Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, those jobs were opened up because of A. Philip Randolph. Black people couldn't get those jobs. Black people couldn't get those jobs. It was A. Philip Randolph and his work that allowed Black people to get those jobs. And part of the reason why they got those jobs is because what A. Philip Randolph did in 1941, he threatened FDR. He said, if Black people can't get jobs in these private sectors, in these companies, in certain government position jobs, we're going to have a march on Washington. FDR did not want him to have that march on Washington, so he allowed Black people to get those jobs. And that one move by A. Philip Randolph, that's what helped create the Black middle class of the 1950s and 60s. Because mind you, during the early 40s, a lot of us, that's during the middle of the mass migration into the cities. Like New York had its areas, but by the time you get to the 40s and the 30s, most of your successful Black towns around the country have been destroyed. They destroyed Black Wall Street by then. They destroyed Allensworth, California by then. They destroyed Wilmington, Delaware by then. Wilmington, North Carolina. South Carolina, where the fuck Carolina is from. They destroyed all of these, Rosewood, all of these Black towns, Carson, California, Bruce's Beach, California. All of this shit's destroyed by the 30s and the 40s. So that move by A. Philip Randolph to get Black people included in these type jobs, those are the jobs that paid enough money to recreate the Black middle class. And FDR was responsible for that legislation. Where America got fucked up was FDR's vice president was a man named Henry Wallace. Look him up, Henry Wallace. Henry Wallace was a white dude that was talking about black. He wasn't talking about civil rights. Henry Wallace was a white dude that was talking about giving black people equal rights in the 1930s. And this was FDR's vice president. And Henry Wallace was poised to win back then there was a convention to elect the vice president. The president didn't choose. What happened was Henry Wallace was supposed to become the vice president again, but they put a goddamn switch in the deck. The Republican Party, which at the time was a party of black people, the Republican Party didn't like Henry Wallace because Henry Wallace wanted to give black people equal rights. Henry Wallace is like, let's just give black people their shit back and let's just leave black people alone and make America America. That's what Henry Wallace was about. At this time, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he's getting older, he's getting ill. FDR had polio. So since FDR had polio, and he not only does he have polio, he's getting real weird, real ill. His cousin, which is his wife, and goddamn, FDR's wife. What was that bitch name? She was ugly. Chat room, help me out. What was her name? Franklin Delano Roosevelt. What's her name? She's real popular now. I got her face, but she looked like the inside of a booty hole. What's her name? Yeah, Eleanor. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Eleanor Roosevelt. God damn, that's an ugly ass woman. She made the Queen of England look like a. She made the Queen of England look like a 3. We all know the Queen of England is a 1. That's an ugly broad. But goddamn, Eleanor Roosevelt was a negative integer. That is one ugly ass white woman right there. That bitch looked like Miss Doubtfire. Damn, I couldn't say it. But Eleanor Roosevelt was a compassionate lady. She, but still, that was one ugly woman. And that was his cousin. The president and his cousin. Oh my God. Ew. There's a certain good reason why the Roosevelt presidential bloodline stopped. From Theodore Roosevelt to his cousin Teddy Roosevelt. From Teddy Roosevelt to his cousin, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Oh, God, that's an ugly woman. But back to what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I got distracted because I got her ugly ass face in my mind. What was I talking about? Oh, what's up, Jeff? Jeff Brown in the building. We was talking about, FDR. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, with him, the thing that set him apart is, see him, all these motherfuckers was anti-black, even the black ones. But he would do what he can do. And he did put some wins on the board for Black America. But those wins, of course, were pressured and forced. But don't let them start with you at the 1963 rally. Black Americans have always fought. And we've always gotten incremental wins. That's something that has to be understood about our history here in America. We've always had incremental wins. We don't even know black people could still work for the government in the 1900s. It was Woodrow Wilson in 1915 that stopped black Americans from having higher up government jobs. Woodrow Wilson punk ass signed that law, and it was a whole bunch of black supervisors working in the White House, working in state houses all across the North and the South. And Woodrow Wilson whole ass signed that law and kicked and said a white person can't be working for a black person in government jobs. I forgot the name of the law. If you want to know more, look up Oliver Stone's documentary, The Presidents. That's where you can find the source, okay? Oliver Stone's documentary, The Presidents. I don't create history, nigga. I just watch documentaries, read about the shit. And I got a dope-ass brain that can recall the shit. That's the only difference. But you can look this shit up yourselves. And the Oliver Stone's and it should be on Netflix. Oliver Stone's documentary, The Presidents. Well, anyway, or you just listen to me and I can repeat the shit for you. Anyway, what's up, Deep Precious? Hit the like button. So, I was talking about his vice president. Thank you, House. I was talking about Henry Wallace. So this is what happened when the convention came around to elect the vice president. Henry Wallace was going to be elected. Everyone knew it. But what did them dirty ass Republicans do? The same shit they do to them right now. They called the vote, and then at the time that it was supposed, if the vote went on at the right time, Henry Wallace would have won. FDR's real sick. Everybody knows he's about to win the presidency because ain't nobody fucking with FDR. He's about to be the first third-term president, but he's also about to die. Everyone knew he about to die. Polio was fucking him up. So Henry Wallace, they called the convention, and then they had a secret that then they called it's somehow, I forgot exactly how it went, but they reconvened the vote, but at a very inconvenient time. So the majority of electors weren't able to vote on who was going to be the vice president, and they ended up voting in Harry Truman. Was it Truman or was it Hoover? I always get Truman and Hoover because they look alike. Well, all them white boys look alike. My dyslexia always confuses me. I'm always get confused between Truman and Hoover. And I'm on my phone right now, so I can't verify for you niggas. But look up who became the vice president in 1948, okay? And now I'll tell you. But Henry Wallace should have been the vice president. Should have ended up being president. And Henry Wallace wasn't threatened by black people. Henry Wallace had the ear of A. Philip Randolph. That's what I'm saying. A. Philip Randolph. Henry Wallace didn't have an issue with black people getting certain rights. He was far ahead. Like, Henry Wallace was more progressive than liberal white people now. Henry Wallace, let me say that one more time. Henry Wallace was more progressive than the liberal Democrats, and he was Republican. He was more progressive than the liberal Democrats now. I'm not saying he was pro-black. He didn't stomp for black people. He wasn't a champion of black rights. He was just down with when the leaders, like when Paul Robeson or A. Philip Randolph had something to say, he was a lending ear. And he didn't mind pushing that policy forward. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Gotta know history so these people don't fuck with you. Media be fucking with us because we don't be knowing our history. And we gotta know our black history, but we also have to understand the history of the United States, and we also have to understand the history of the European. Because when I'm coaching basketball, yeah, I'm doing everything I can to work on my game, but I'm also watching tape on the other team. Where are their zones? What kind of zones do they run? What kind of man defense do they run? Who's their best shooter? Who's their best passer? Who's their best rebounder? Do I got to send two to box out that rebounder, or can my best rebounder handle their best rebounder? I got to strategize, but my strategy is going to be contingent on my scouting report of the team that I'm playing against as a coach. No different when dealing with white supremacy. It's not personal. You can still have white friends. You can still have white agents and Jewish lawyers. It's not about hating nobody. Hell, my lawyer, she's Asian. I love her. Person that helps me with all my legal stuff, old college friend of mine, Asian woman. And she hear the shit that I talk about on this channel. It don't offend her because she knows my heart and she ain't like that. The way I talk, it only offends people who have that negative intention behind what they do. The only people who I offend of other races are people whose heart ain't right. If your heart is right, you can be white and listen to what I have to say. If your heart is right, you can be Asian, Latino, and listen to what I have to say. But if your heart ain't right, I'm going to offend you. And that's fine. Because I care more about the peace of mind of black people than the offense of non-blacks. I don't purposely try to offend non-blacks, but if offense is taken, Dwan has no fucks to give. That's all I'm saying. The mental sanctity and the mental well-being of black people is paramount to me, more than anyone else's feelings. I'm not apologizing like these niggas. I ain't getting a check from the NBA. Kyrie Irving had to apologize today because them folks was on his monkey ass. And I get it. I'm not even gonna criticize Kyrie for apologizing. That motherfucker in Brooklyn. It's all kind of Herkowitz motherfuckers around there. Again, he's an employee. He's not an independent contractor. He's an employee of the United States, of the NBA. So Kyrie had to do what he had to do. But I'm not here to offend. I'm just here to have a conversation amongst black people about what we see and what we observe, and how we can think logically about how to move forward. Because we don't hate nobody over here. If you want to hate somebody, that's fine. I don't give a fuck what you do. DwannBrown don't hate nobody. But there's a progression of waking up. We've all been duped. We've all been had. And so as we wake up, the first step of waking up is anger. What happens when you sleep real good and somebody throw a bucket of ice on your ass? You ready to fuck them up, ain't you? It could be your mama and you love her to death, but if she throw a bucket of ice water on your ass while you sleep, you be ready to fight God if you got a goddamn bucket of ice water thrown on you while you asleep. Or a flashlight, or you just waking up and somebody put a goddamn police flashlight in your eye. You be ready to kick their monkey ass. So just understand, as you wake up, and we've all gone through this, and some people are still going through it, as you wake up, your first reaction is going to be anger. The key is not to stay there too long. Get your anger out, let it flow, let it process. But you can't be 5, 10 years into waking up and still angry. If you still angry that far into it, nigga, you just choosing to be angry. At that point, nigga, you gotta wisen up and start getting strategic. You ain't gonna fix shit out of anger. You ain't gonna fix a motherfucking thing out of anger. You better get goddamn wise. I ain't looking at no goddamn math equation when I was in college or in high school or elementary school and get mad. Man, why they got me solving? Why they got me using the Pythagorean theorem? Why I need to solve and find out the other end of that triangle? You don't get mad at the problem, you solve the fucking problem. Man, I hate when they play white jazz. Especially white jazz from the 40s. That shit sucks. Come on, Spotify, y'all tripping. I don't hear no motherfucking Woody Herman. Fuck out of here. I don't hear no Kurt Elling either. I don't hear no Gary Burton, no. Come on, what the fuck is going on, Spotify? Spotify just played like 10 like white jazz acts in a row. No disrespect. But y'all don't swing like that. Y'all jazz don't swing like that. My shit got a swing. Let's play some Bobby Humphrey. No, I'm about to play some Alice Coltrane. That's what I'm about to play. I'm about to play some Alice Coltrane. Yeah. Man, y'all better get into Alice Coltrane, especially if you want to meditate. She out of Detroit. John Coltrane's wife. Lived here in LA for a while until she passed away. You talk about music to meditate to? If you into meditation and music, play yourself some Alice Coltrane. And get quiet, take some deep breaths. You will get the answers, my friend. You will get the answers. Listen to some Alice Coltrane and meditate. You will get the answers. But now I don't play Benny Goodman. Get that square ass jazz out of here. Nah. I play Jimmy Lunsford. Hell yeah, I play him. I play Basie. I play Duke. Play some Cab Calloway. But all I'm saying is, to close out, because I ain't about to be here all night. Told y'all, I got home at 5 in the morning, and I was up at 9 a.m. doing card readings. Nigga, been working my ass off all day. So I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. But what I want to end up saying is this. It's not about hating nobody. It's about being strategic. And if you don't have to be militant. Again, like I said, I'm militant enough for 3 million niggas. But you can't shut the fuck up. Niggas, stop apologizing. One black man do something that other people don't like. Got all these black men talking about apologize. Stop it. You could just be quiet. You could just be quiet. That is A-OK. I have no issues with everyone being quiet. Look, we'd be better off if 95% of people were quiet. 1% spoke up for Black America, and 4% supported them really well. That 5% will cause a change in the critical mass. If the people who spoke for the greater good of black society just weren't opposed by these coons, we go so much further. Just being able to speak up for us without having to face internal opposition or express an opinion that's counter to the thoughts of the dominant society. If the rest of the black people just shut the fuck up, we'd be okay. And they know that. That's why they know to go back and recruit a child at the age of 10 or 11 for basketball or whatever. Separate them, segregate them, make them feel that they're better in. That way, when they become an old nigga in their 30s or 40s and they no longer have the spotlight, they can shit on the next generation coming up. It's an ecosystem that's set up from top to bottom. I even had a father of 3 Division I players come and tell you the truth. Shit I've been telling y'all for a long time. See how it all ties in together? See how it all ties in together? There's a cause and effect to everything. But if you're stuck in anger and you're stuck in hate, you're just a reactionary to the effects. Don't be a reactionary to the effects. Understand the cause and effect relationship between all things on earth. That is a law. That is one of the 7 laws of Tahuti. I encourage y'all to look up the 7 laws of Tahuti, the 7 laws of Thoth. The law of correspondence, as above, so below. As within, so without. That's really all you need to know in life. If you truly understand the 7 laws of the universe, if you truly, truly, truly understand the 7 laws of the universe, and you understand that those 7 laws are applied at all times. The law of cause and effect. That is a law of nature. What does the law of nature mean? It can't exist in this realm of reality without abiding by that law. Fuck these human laws. Get to know the laws of nature. And one of the major laws of nature is the law of cause and effect. Everything in existence, it has a cause and effect relationship. So if you see any issues, you see any problems going on, you got to go back to the cause. You see this brother Takeoff from the Migos, rest in peace, was shot. I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew who he was. I don't listen to the Migos. I've heard their music because I still be out in the streets. But I couldn't name a song. But, you know, he got killed, and he was in an environment that the level of his vibration he probably shouldn't have been in. And I'm not here to judge the dead, but law of cause and effect. We live in a society that breeds discontent amongst a group of people. It makes guns easy to access. This country doesn't teach emotional intelligence. Lots of fatherless children out there caused by economic deprivation. Just because you make a record 10 years ago that sells a lot of money and now you're rich, doesn't mean your mindset has changed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because money is fiat. It's imaginary. Just because you got a few more dollars in your pocket, that doesn't change your consciousness. So you had an event that a lot was going on, and a man got shot. But what was the environment that caused that? Cause and effect. There's always a story behind the story. It's just that black people aren't given the respect for people to listen to the story behind the story. They only judge our effect, never our cause. And then when we look at our cause, they say we're being anti-Semitic. They say we're being racist. We're being homophobic. We're being misogynistic. Just for trying to analyze the cause. Only thing I have to say to that is, fuck these people. Do it anyway. They can't stop you. God gave you the right to think, not them. God gave you the right to think. Man, I love me some Herbie Hancock. I love this shit right here. But just know that. You dig what I'm saying? And I appreciate that Raw Faces. Yeah, my energies do use a lot of. My readings do use a lot of energy. My readings do. I use a lot of readings. I'm gonna try to do a reading show tomorrow. I want to read this weekend, the rally weekends, Two of Diamonds Saturday for the rally reparations. That's a good day because the two of Diamonds calls into balance of values and the balance of energy and karmas. Two of the Diamonds is a great day to speak to power. It's a great day in the cars to do that show, to do that rally for reparations. But I'm getting tired of saying, like I said, I got in at 5 in the morning and I was up at 9 a.m. reading people. And it's what, 1 a.m. now? Shit. I'll take my ass to bed. I've been up, goddamn, what's that, 48 hours? In the last 48 hours, I've been awake. I've been asleep 3 of the last 48 hours. No, 4 of the last 48 hours. This should remind me of my 20s. This is how I was in my 20s every fucking day, though. Herbie does it like that. You mean? Now, Herbie, he don't like that no more, but he does like that. He got that just for men in his hair and everything. I know. I saw this nigga at the Hollywood Bowl last month. But I'm about to get the fuck up on out of here. Love yourself and get a reading. Love your motherfucking self and love your family and love those who love you. And if they ain't fucking with you, let them go. And remember, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. I'm out.